Shawty said that Brooklyn needed a little balance. I think we found it. The change niggas pitch when we found it all in the fountain. To the top we mountain. At the top we bigger than mountains. Take your shit, we bouncing. Ain't no making no damn announcement. Said I gotta get it. Gotta have it, don't you forget it. Steady representing. It's a habit, I'll never quit it. Got a lot of carrots and snow bunnies. Never committed, watch me murder.
Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Brooklyn's Balance. You guys said that you needed that balance, and we are here with it. To my left, I have a guest that came all the way up from North Carolina. Well, she didn't come up here for me, but she came up here.
Yo, first off, the way you said that made it seem like I'm from there. I'm from the town.
I know you are, but listen, it's been a minute. You down there with the rest of the cousins and stuff.
No, although I live down there, I'm here most of the time.
I see that.
You saw me casually walking the street the other day.
Move back.
I was coming from the dentist. But yes, what's poppin', y'all? This is your girl, JT, Jasmine Taylor TV, and Meekz. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
And to my right, we have... No.
Nah, Buck Madoff, man. 88 for the trenches, man. I'm here, man.
I feel you. So the first question I got for both of y'all, how do we meet?
Where are we just trying to figure that out? Okay, so I met you at least 15 years ago. I can say that.
Yeah, just about,
Yeah, I met you about 15 years ago.
That's when I was slimmer.
That's when I was slimmer.
This
is before I even had a child.
I ain't gonna front. You was still the same.
Yeah, I was.
Yes, the fuck you was. When I met you, you was just coming on to the beer belly.
Probably just.
Yeah, when I met you, you was a little chunky.
Yeah, you and Stalks was looking like twins.
Maybe, I don't know. The clothes was a little bigger back then, so maybe I thought I was bigger.
Yeah, you was a little chunky.
This nigga think we in the 80s. Go
so, I met you about 15 years ago because I remember I started party promoting. Y'all was already in the scene and I just came out the woodworks. I just met you from being a jerk towards me. Nah, I'm playing. We were just trying to have that conversation earlier. You don't remember being a jerk, but
I probably was a jerk, but I wasn't mean.
Well, that's what it was. You were a jerk to me, and I took it as you being mean because I didn't know you, and I don't play with people I don't know.
I play with everybody.
That's that Cancer energy.
Yeah, I snap.
That part. Yeah, how do we meet? You remember?
This is what I remember. I remember I was doing music and I was in the projects, and I was like, yo, I have to network. Like, I just have to network. I don't know what the fuck networking really is, but I just got to get outside and fucking do something. And then I just started going to parties on my own. And then somewhere along the way, we met. You know what I'm saying?
Every time I seen you was with Stalks. Y'all wasn't like, no? I felt like you always came out.
Kinda, but it was nothing like, solidified. He was just, he just fucked with me. And I fucked with him, yeah.
I met you, I don't know what the club is. It's definitely somewhere shut down. It's definitely on Utica Avenue.
The After Hours Spot Club?
Nah, I never been to no After Hours
Spot. I don't know. It's on Utica, like 2 blocks from Peppers. We used to be in there. That literally was the night that we was all in there.
But what's the name of that spot? Venus?
That sound about right, yup.
I remember Club Venus.
We was in
Probably.
Venus. Joel Santana was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I performed that day.
Yep, Joel Santana was there.
Oh, I give you flowers that day?
Yes, you did.
That was you?
Specifically to me. I was the first person. And then I think, but we met before that. But I just remember every time that we was in like the same clubs, like you would always come to me, and I was just like, oh, okay, and then we would speak. But I don't remember too much conversations, but we did.
Okay.
I honestly can't place you, but I feel like it was a buzz night because I feel like I always met somebody in buzz because I was always the friendly person. I was gonna say,
I probably was just being the youngest in the spot, drunk, and you probably was the nicest to me because me and my friends probably in the club wilding. Because honestly, like back then, I didn't really have a lot of female party promoter associates,
right?
At all. Like I remember this one girl. One time, it was this event, and like it was a.
So you're not trying to drop no names?
Oh, Empress Unique.
Oh, okay.
I don't have no problem dropping names.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't fuck with her. She know I don't fuck with her.
Okay.
But yeah. So I remember it was this party. It was like a pool theme kind of party, and
it was inside the club.
I don't fucking remember. I think it was like a foam party back then. Because
I was more the hip hop crowd. I didn't cross over to that reggae. I
don't do soca and none of that. It was a regular.
That's that crowd though. Yeah.
No, it was not a soca crowd at all. It was at
a hip hop party, and she pulled up.
She used to be at all the hip hop parties. That's the only way I know her.
Shit, that's not
That's the only way I know. I never see, because I don't go. I cannot listen to all that soca and stuff for hours. I can't. It gives me a headache. And then I'm a big girl. I sweat too much. Like it's only but so much I'm gonna pelt my waist. But I remember one time it was like a foam party or something, and for my picture for the flyer, I had a bathing suit on. This fucking ugly bitch gonna say to me publicly too, not even like on some respectful shit. Right. She commented on my picture and was like, "Are you selling pussy or are you selling tickets for a party?"
Okay, never mind. So that's valid. No,
who you talking
I wouldn't
to?
Even speak to nobody. That's
valid
reason.
Mind you, another female was like, "Jasmine, I understand you're new in this game, but you should move this way, X, Y, and Z." You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But bitch, who are you?
What's wrong with that?
But it was the theme of the party. Like it's a pool party. Right. I didn't see anything
and even
was
when you
wrong
promote
with
flyers, like they used to copy and paste the girls that was half naked.
I didn't see anything wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't see anything wrong with it, but that's what she said to me, and it was always tension from there. And after that, all the other like party girls were kind of like standoffish towards me. That's serious. And now that I'm getting older, it's a few of them that be like, I love who you are today.
Oh, wow. I can't even say nothing because my team name was Sexy and T, and that stood for something extra. It was like, I don't know. Maybe I can.
Yeah, so it wasn't too many party girls I liked, but I always remembered you because you were always nice to me. And then, like, once you and Mark had got together many years ago, like, I was already cool with him and his friends. So, like, yeah, just.
Listen, I miss those guys. Rest in peace to Franco and Biggie. Rest in peace to them. I'm telling you. I had Ace up here a couple of weeks ago, and we was talking about the party promotion world. I initially got my start from Queens, from Cloud9. Those are the people who actually put me on. Nobody from Brooklyn put me on.
Did they talk about where Cloud9 actually started and who, like, why I got it, like, who, like?
Not too much. We didn't get to.
Oh, because I got
that,
questions.
But if you, okay.
Because I was in the party scene from back then,
but I know he wasn't the face of Cloud9. He wasn't the somebody
face.
Else was.
He wasn't the face, but the face of Cloud9. I don't know you.
Like I wouldn't even know, but I knew he.
No, the face is the boy head. You know who I'm talking about. The boy head dude from Money and Violence. Mo, yes. He's the one now who, his whole Instagram is Cloud9 ENT, verified and everything. Oh, wow. But from when we was in the trenches back in the day, I never heard of you. I never saw you party promote. I never saw you in Manhattan and Queens doing none of that.
We got
so I literally used to have these conversations with all the Money and Violence, like, yo, how y'all letting this new nigga come take y'all shit? Like, I remember, I said to them, I kid you not, right here in the God, I said, ain't one of y'all original Cloud9 members in a wheelchair behind that name? But here you come with a nigga, like,
shout out to Moolah.
You feel me? Like, come
Moolah.
on, I really was in these streets being 14, I know. So therefore, certain stuff is like, how you let somebody come snatch your shit? Right. That's his shit heavy. Now. Come on. So yeah, that's why I talked to Ace about this before because they don't want to. But I spoke about it on my show a lot of times.
Should have been here. I should have had that. I would have had that question ready.
Everybody's moving to the South too, by the way. So you should come.
I'm good. I'll go to Jersey. Brooklyn niggas go to Jersey.
Facts.
It's a lot, but it's a lot of Brooklyn people in North Carolina.
Yeah, my family. One of the people who was a part of the thing who I just don't fuck with, so I'm not going down there.
They probably too comfortable down there. See, I come back every month, so that's why I still got the hood in me. Like,
so let's talk about how I met you as Buck Rogers, and now you have a whole different name. Do you still do music?
No.
Okay, because I was in the house arguing with Mark, and we was like, he still do music. And I said, I ain't see a track. I got to get prepared. I was trying to see, and I was like, man, I'm going to just ask him because I don't want to be the nigga that just learned the first line to a song.
Yeah. Nah, I don't do music no more. Once my hat started, like, taking off, then I just was like, you have, in my opinion, you have to just focus on one thing. That's especially if it's working before you move to the next.
You got to
thing.
be adaptable.
Everybody want to be a mogul. You have like, in my opinion, you can't be doing 5 different things when you at the bottom, because say if you have $1,000 budget, now you have to spread that $200 between 5 things. Right. Between putting 1,000 into one.
You're not gonna see no growth.
You know, exactly.
How you putting the time to profit against it?
You have to think about 5 things, how to do 5 things, and that's just how I think. You know what I'm saying? And I just do what works for me. And I just try to, spread what works for me. But I know everybody want to be a mogul, which is fine. Right. I want to be a mogul as well. But I feel.
So what is a mogul? You know the definition?
Do I know the Webster definition? No. But I would just say just somebody that's just getting it in different fields. Or maybe the same field, but just different things. Like maybe he's into music, but he does production or manages and maybe some other behind the scenes shit, A&R. You know what I'm saying?
So a mogul is an important or powerful person, especially in the motion picture or media industry. So of course we don't use that. A steam locomotive with 3 pairs of driving wheels and 1 pair of smaller wheels. Okay, that's something different.
I think it was the first one.
I use mogul because I call myself a media mogul, so that you definitely
Yeah, it was the
do
first
use
one.
Mogul.
Oh, I found a better one. A mogul is defined as a person who possesses a great deal of power, influence, and wealth. In business, a mogul is often associated with a person who dominates an enterprise or industry. Moguls tend to be founders or CEOs of important corporations. A mogul is sometimes used synonymously with tycoon.
Absolutely.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So yeah. So that's what you know, and I get it, but where we from, we just can't do that at 22, at 23, because we don't have the resources. We can't press a button and get this to work. We have to grind from the bottom. And that's where I think a lot of people fuck up at, is they want to do 5 different things, and everything is just spread thin. The money spread thin, the resources are spread thin, the time is spread thin. Instead of just focusing on one, and then after that operates on its own, can operate on its own, and it's going to take years.
Right.
And then, all right, let me try something else now. Like I remember, we had a Culture Matters meeting years ago. Remember that? I'm still going to do that.
In 2018. Yeah, it was 2018.
And I'm still going to do that. And it's 2022.
I'm still a moderator
You know
on
what
the
I'm saying?
Facebook
So,
group.
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, it's like, you know, I'm still going to do an idea I thought about 4 years ago, maybe in the next 3 years.
Because sometimes timing is everything.
Yeah.
But one thing that I did want to touch on, when I spoke to, Ace, and we sat down and we had this conversation, a lot of things that we doing now, we could have did that back in the days if we understood what our resources was. We was on Instagram when it first started. We're technically influencers. Because we could pack out a club with just a simple tweet, a simple BBM, a simple text. We was bringing out 5,000 people to one spot.
Oceana.
Fat Boy, we was doing all of that. Oceana with Pretty to God and everybody.
Let me tell you a story about Oceana.
Oh, boy.
So, it's a good
Okay.
story. So, one year, let's just say 2000 and what year we in? Let's just say 2012. I see Mo Funds performing or whatever. And it's a lot of fucking people there. So I was like, yo, I have to get there. I have to perform here next year. And then the next year, it's just like I networked and I did. And the following year. And not that that's Madison Square Garden or nothing, but it's just.
That was
the
our
biggest spot.
Madison Square.
It's just
that
like-
was a big ass spot.
Yeah, no, it was. It was
That
a big ass
stage,
spot. It was
everything
just
about
like,
Oceana
it's
was
just
huge.
focusing on something and just getting it done. Like, I did remember, like, nah, I have to perform here next year.
If it wasn't Oceana, it was like Amazora. Those were
Right.
the 2 big
Definitely.
I
ones.
performed at Amazora too.
Those were the 2
That was in
big
Queens?
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you would never
I
get back
performed that
into
both.
music, seeing that
No.
a lot of the things? It's just not your thing.
Nah, as I was doing music, I found out that I loved marketing.
Gotcha.
So I like to be able to get people interested in shit and think of ways to get them interested. Like and one thing that got me that way was cigarettes was actually a female thing. When it
Yes.
back in the,
Those long ones and then,
that was a
you put it in
feminine
those,
thing. So the person that made Marlboro, I forgot the marketer's name. I always forget his name. He hired a marketer, and what he did was he put it on a cowboy,
Right.
and
So that
that's
he could
more
get more
masculine.
men. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it just switched the trajectory of how people see cigarettes now. So that intrigued me, like how you could just switch some shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't switched nothing, but it's just the power of how you can do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That intrigued me, and it takes brain power to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like even these, like I started rapping, next day I come out with hats, $50. Nigga, what the fuck is this? Why am I paying $50 for this? Right. And I get it. So I said, all right, before I put this out, I have to think of why I can charge $50 for this.
Right.
What will make people say that hat is worth $50? So I'm from Marcy. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But I'm from Marcy, and I'm connected with people around there. So one of my homies work at Tom, Dick, and Harry. So I got it in the stores, and just from a consumer standpoint,
Right.
that adds prestige.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I could say, yo, it's in Tom D's, and then
Right.
Vinny's also picked it up.
Right.
So yo, it's in Tom D's, it's in Vinny's. Boom! Now it was $50. It's just gonna move way quicker
Right.
than some nigga they just don't know, a hat they never seen, to charge $50 for it. And I get it. Like, I'm not one of those niggas, the hood don't support me or the hood should support. No, you have to make them support.
Gotcha.
One thing I learned about clothing, if it's not moving, it's either the shit don't look good or you're not marketing it right. And that's just it. If something looks good, people are going to want it. It's a fact.
Right.
If something looks good, they're going to want it. Oh, I can see myself in that. Let me get it. It don't matter who the fuck you are. And that's just the truth. I got niggas I know that don't like me buying it. They either buy it off me or they buy it from the stores.
Right.
But they got it. Because my whole hood got it.
Is that the reason for the name switch?
No. Wait, from Buck Rogers to Buck. No. That's when I was doing music. Yeah, and I just switched my name to Buck Madoff.
Do y'all both feel like y'all have an issue with asking people for help now that y'all have come into different drives? Because we've had a different support system back in the days when we were promoting to now. Do you find it hard to ask for help or even to look for that support? Like, for example, if we three wasn't sitting at this table and I ain't go, you know what, let me take that chance to ask. Because I'm a person, I'm not asking for help. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do it. And I feel like once I get to a certain point, you'll come to me and ask. I'm really one of those people.
I will ask for help. I'm asking for help. If I feel I need it, I'm asking. I think I'm not going to say I don't have an ego. I know I talk shit on Facebook. Well, that's the internet, but that's the internet. But my ego is so small, I don't have an ego. So even if when I first went to Vinny's, they said no. I walked in there. Yo, can I put my hats in here? Nah, bro. Yeah. All right, cool. And I wasn't mad. They don't fucking know me.
Right.
So then a few, maybe weeks or a month or two later, somebody walked in there with it on, just on some regular shopping shit. And then he stopped. I'm like, yo, I know who make those hats. Do you know them? He was like, yeah. Oh, yeah, we want those hats. And then boom, now my hat is in there. Now, if I never went in there the first place, that nigga wouldn't even never asked,
right,
what hat do you have on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He really just looked like he probably bought, it's probably some new, like he just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So he probably would have never even asked or whatever. But me personally, I don't have a problem asking for help.
I'm growing out of that phase of not asking for help because a smart person knows when it's time to ask for help. So as I progress and elevate in life, I definitely start asking for help. However, my past, not even like within business, mostly with business, especially within media, it does deter me away from asking for help. Because truth be told, I don't have all the answers, but a lot of the things that I do, even down to engineering, no one has ever taught me anything that I know. I didn't go to media school. I just know how to freaking speak. Like, I don't, so therefore it was a period where I was like, nigga, I can learn anything by myself. But no, there's people who were before me. So my thing is, I'd rather ask someone who has experience and who I can actually learn from than to ask someone who's like completely my equal, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
I honestly, the reason why
I had to try to say that in the most humbling way.
The reason why I started Brooklyn's Balance was honestly, it was for me to prove a point. Somebody who I was best friends with since 12 years old was like, hey, come on to my podcast. I sat down, did a little small, I guess it was like an audition on camera with everybody else. And he was like, oh, she know how to speak to everybody. Everybody was sitting at the table drinking, smoking. I'm not against it. But the topics they was coming up with, I was like, yo, this don't make no fucking sense. Like, what are we talking about? And he was just like, nah, come through. One of my best friends. Literally, we grew up together. The episode that sent me was, what's your body count? So I'm not about to sit on fucking camera and explain my body count to somebody. I said, what the fuck does that matter? I had a mother sitting across the table from me, 3 other niggas, and I'm like, the only niggas that's gonna benefit from this is y'all niggas. Not none of the females sitting at the fucking table. So I was like, I need to structure this conversation better. Let's figure it out. Oh, if you don't want to fucking do it, you ain't got to do it. All right, bet. They was like, you think this is so easy? It is. I can tell you every place you fucking up at. Let me tell you your opportunities. I went and somebody else who was my best friend with me, he's the person who does the intro on the song, was like, yo, fuck that. We're going to start our own podcast. I started it and I went to my homeboy who was an engineer. We're not the best of terms because lifestyle choices. I was just like, I don't want to be associated with that. I don't want to be in studios when people is running up in the studio. And I know the type of person that you are because I know when I get into trouble, I'm going to fucking call you. But I don't want that around my fucking business. We sat down. I went to studio after studio after studio after studio. And then I sat down and was like, all right, I got to figure this out. To finding out the person who was my engineer couldn't even do none of the shit for me. He was like, oh, I can edit and engineer for you. Never happened. I got in contact with a lot of photographers that we know. And I was like, I see y'all do videos and music videos. Hey, do you think that you could work with this? They didn't know how to do it. Or they just never got back to me. I don't want to drop their names, but they the same people talk about they about to have a podcast now. I'm like, you couldn't even edit 6 to 8 views. I had to do a lot by myself. I had to sit down, YouTube classes, figure it out, and then go, all right, Mark, like, you good at this, help me. So I'm very big on not asking for help. Like when I get to a certain point, yes, I feel like I'm at that point now. Where now I'm like, I've created my foundation. Exactly. I don't want nobody to be a part of something that I had to start from the beginning. I'd rather you come along in the middle and be like, okay, I don't want to take.
I see potential.
Right. Like now, I just told you like what was it last week? Now I have an assistant to where obviously I live in North Carolina, so I can't be at every event, right? Especially the shits that I really want to go to. So now I trusted myself to ask someone like, hey, I see you're out in the streets, X, Y, and Z. Like, what is your purpose? Like, what do you want to do with this media thing? And so they told me, and it just made sense. So now I have someone who can do work in New York when I'm not in New York. So that's a good thing. But I wanted to say something. I remember when I first started doing radio. Do you remember when all the party promoters was doing radio, show off radio? Back in the day.
I remember that.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Okay.
Did I listen?
So it was, I love Big Reef, but it was Big Reef, it was Hollywood Butter, it was all of them, like, on this, right? Kid you not, I asked every last one of them, like, hey, how can I, this is part of why I stopped asking people for help, because it's like, first off, y'all shows was whack back then. Like, I'm confused. Like, and then it was literally in the basement. I used to have to walk down the fucking cellar to go there. Like, but anyway, I would ask them, like, how can I get into radio at y'all station? They would shit on me, like, really, like, bougie about it, especially Hollywood Butter. And
she name dropping.
Yeah, I do. I don't have a problem because my thing is this: if I'm name dropping, you know I don't fuck with you.
I'm glad you ain't say my name.
Like, if
I mean, she did at the beginning.
Yeah, like if I say your name, you know I don't fuck with you. So yeah, the other people, they know I don't fuck with them. So it was just a lot of no's before I saw fit for me, quote unquote. Even in North Carolina, like when I first got to North Carolina in 2019, I ain't know nobody but my now fiance, and I barely knew her like that. I went there with literally 50, not even like, no, I went there with $47. I'm not
gonna say like I know her, but shout out Nikki.
Right. Everyone fucking shouts her out like y'all know her. Y'all don't even know her yet.
She commented on my post the other day. I know her. She
come with you.
I know her. Shout out to Nikki.
So I didn't even know her like that for real. So I went down to North Carolina with like $47, y'all, and like a duffel bag of clothes.
And a dream.
Literally, and I just went down there. I started using Instagram. I started hashtagging like Greensboro Radio, like just whatever the fuck. So
no, that's fire. Yeah, that's like a fire.
Yeah, so like I just started hashtagging whatever made sense to what I was looking for, and I straight up just asked this one station owner. I was like, listen, I don't need your help really. I know how to engineer. Like I know how to book my own show. No one has ever, that's another thing, no one has ever booked anything for me out of the almost 10 years. No one has ever fucking told me what to play, who to play, when to play it. I structure my own show from top to bottom. Okay,
so I commend my show. Non-video, right? It's more audio.
It's audio and video.
Okay.
I started off with video almost 10 years ago. I started off with video, but then I noticed that nowadays a lot of people in their cars watching anything, you know. But now this is at that point in time. Right. Shit, excuse me.
It's all right. It's
no, it's not all right.
It's the weed.
No, it wasn't. My big ass hand. I'm almost 6 feet. Like, what do you mean? But yeah. So when I first started doing radio, it was more so visual because I forgot the streaming service that people were using back then.
Ooh,
I forgot. It was some streaming service that people were using back then. So it was mostly video. And then we noticed, I guess it was like an algorithm kind of attention span thing.
Right.
That's when Sirius XM started coming out and getting big. So we're like, all right, people aren't really watching because no one's really staying home. So that's when certain stations would would create apps because they're realizing, well, our video views suck.
Right.
You know. So I did the video thing, and I guess it all depends on who it is. Like if it's it just gotta make sense.
Right.
You know, it gotta make sense. That's what it is with me. It just gotta make sense because I'm tired of wasting time. Right. I'm tired of doing things that don't make sense to Jasmine Taylor's brand. And Jasmine Taylor's brand caters to authenticity, where the underdogs win. That's really my slogan.
Trenches.
So, and you know that Project
Niggas
John.
in the trenches.
What are you doing with Project John? Like,
oh, that was just I
like it, and I think you should have a. You know
I'll just be making shit up.
But Buck, personally, I think you should have a line within 88 Trenches just catered to like Project John. You know, you get what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you mean.
Yeah.
The Aquarius in
mean.
him is being stubborn.
No, it's not being stubborn.
But he
It's
has
just
to do
thinking.
something with it.
Yeah,
you have to do something with
it.
it.
Yeah. Actually had an idea for years. I'll talk to you about it off air.
Yeah, you have to do something with it.
And this was even before I started 88. I was gonna do something, but
and I want to be a part of it. I would like to be a part of it.
Of course, you'll be the Project John ambassador.
Yeah.
And when you think of Project John, you just gotta think of Jasmine Taylor.
Have to.
I'm not from the project.
Well, I am loud and proud.
Don't do that. Don't.
Nah, but with that, even,
Project John is not even
I
you being
get
from the
it. No,
project.
yeah. No, yes it is. But
No, you could be
Look,
from the
see?
projects, but I feel like you just gotta be from the trenches because I know people
no,
who not
it's
from the projects.
No, it's from the no.
So you want
When
the
I
white
thought
people
about
who came
it,
and took a picture in front of Marcy?
no, from
Yeah, I'm
the
just
projects
asking.
or
Well, yeah,
lived
I
there
am
at a certain
from-
time.
I am from
You know what
the
I'm saying?
project.
So for me, because they shit on project people. They shit on people from the projects. Like, y'all don't pay no rent. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm not gonna lie, y'all niggas do need to move out.
I'm not in the projects no
Why?
more.
Well,
My
not you,
thing,
but the
hold
people
on. The
who
reason
is.
I said why is because not for nothing. When I lived in the projects, I moved out of the projects years and years ago. But when I lived in the projects in 2001, they was offering my grandmother money to move out of the projects, to move her to the Bronx. This is right after the World Trade
don't move
Center.
to the Bronx.
Let me finish speaking.
The whole Bronx
on.
is the project.
So my grandmother's long deceased now, but in 2001 they were offering my grandmother money to move out of the projects because what her buildings are right now are now co-ops. Like they're not even nature no more.
Right.
So therefore, when people be like, "Oh, move out the projects," a lot of people they want to,
Right.
but let's be real here. It's New York City.
No, I want y'all to move out so I could pay cheaper rent. That's what I
But
want y'all
let
to
me
do.
finish. See, you cut me off because you think it's cheaper rent. People in the projects is paying $2,000.
My mom is in Marlboro.
All right, because they didn't get to Marlboro yet.
Oh, okay. So
I know, but I'm a project, John. I really know the project.
It depends on your income. My homegirl was about to pay $1,500 to live in the projects in a 1-bedroom.
Like I really don't know
And it was because of her income.
Cheap rent.
It's not like that no more. It's not like, $300 a month. No, it goes off your
It's a little
income.
different with my mom. My mom got Section 8, so no matter where the fuck she moves, it's gonna be a little bit.
I don't really know about that.
I never really knew about Section 8, but I do know that a lot of the projects in New York City they're slowly working towards making them non-NYCHA anymore. So I know for a fact they started with downtown Brooklyn.
Barclays.
Yeah, they started with downtown Brooklyn. Remember, I told
shit.
you 2001 they was telling my grandmother they were trying to offer her money, and that's
That's the
because
ones that's right across the street.
no. So it don't matter because the projects that I'm from they mad little, so it don't matter.
Which one you from?
It don't matter. No one knows them.
Barinkin?
What?
Barinkin?
Oh, Boriquin? That's that shit over somewhere
That's
over
in
there.
Williamsburg.
That's in Williamsburg. I'm from downtown. I'm from
okay.
Wyckoff. Like, I'm from like the Wyckoff Gowanus area.
I was
That's
beefing with niggas over there. Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Gowanus
so-
is small.
yes. Gowanus not small. Gowanus got 18 buildings.
Or maybe
Wyckoff
it's
only got
Wyckoff.
3 buildings.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm from Wyckoff. So they were offering my grandmother to
Had
move
beef
out,
with a
but
nigga
that's
over there.
because the Barclays was coming.
Right.
Barclays wasn't even near yet
At all. They
So
started going up on
they
everything.
were already telling my grandmother like we're building a stadium. These complexes are no longer going to be NYCHA. So I know Wyckoff is no longer NYCHA. I know they're working on Gowanus no longer being NYCHA. My grandmother's building no longer NYCHA. Atlantic Terminal, like the ones by Barclays, you said those are almost no longer NYCHA. But it takes at least 10 years to really develop, like execute your freaking plan. So even with our personal businesses, you said you've been sitting on certain ideas. And even with you, like whoever, it takes at least 10 years to really body what it is that that you're really trying to pursue. You just can't wake
That's
up
another
and
thing.
be
People
like,
have to be consistent.
Yeah, like-
it's just no consistency. And it gets me mad because I'm the type of nigga where I want to see black people win. Like, that's just me. If a young nigga came up to me the other day, asked me about my hats and shit, how I started, I gave him everything. Yo, bro, download this app. Do this. Do that. I'm not hiding information from black people.
That's another thing.
I'm
A lot
not.
of the people who I feel like we dealt with, or there's other people that we can network with, they're not into being mentors. I'm not looking for you to like, hey, just mentor me.
Yeah.
This is what I may already have.
But I mean,
Help me
if
to
somebody
improve on
if
that.
somebody don't want to do that, they have that right too.
No, I get it, but like,
Yeah.
if I'm first thing that's my biggest thing with coming to asking people.
Yeah.
Because if I'm gonna ask somebody, I'm not.
But
gonna
even
ask,
if they say no, only thing that's hurt is your pride and your ego.
I'll be
Even
hurt.
if they
I
say
usually
not
got, like,
hurt,
4 or 5 people,
no, I'm just
but
saying.
yeah.
Even if like, there's a reason why you don't want to ask, and that reason for the no's is why you don't want to ask. So it's something there that makes you not want to ask. But to me, if niggas say no, they just say no, and I'm gonna ask the next nigga because this needs to work. You know what I'm saying? This needs to work because my daughter need to be fly when she go to school because I wasn't. And that's one of my
Oh, that's
biggest
right.
things. Like, this started because of my daughter. I was like, I was working 2 jobs, and I wasn't having time with her. So I'm like, I need something to make me a good amount of money, but in less time.
Right.
I can't be working 60 hours a week and then have to spend time with my daughter. I'm tired. That was just my thing. So I need this to work. You know what I'm saying? So
I have a question.
Yeah.
So obviously the logo, like, what are the legalities of that
I don't know what that word means.
in legal terms? Like,
I don't right now.
like, because
Like,
you know,
do you
for
own
example,
this? Is this
for
straight
example,
on
No.
wait, no, for example,
The-
for example, you see how back in the day Dapper Dan was doing things.
That's
and then,
exactly what
and
I'm
then
doing.
eventually he
That's
got to
it.
do.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Same
Okay,
thing.
that's what I
Yeah.
kind of figured, but I
Same
wanted
thing.
to get
Yeah, it was
clarification
crazy.
from you.
I have interview.
I didn't want to just like
Assume. Yeah, I talk.
because that was a concern. Like, damn, I hope
I
he's
have
taking it
interviews in my
Dapper Dan
head,
way.
and that's one of the questions that Charlamagne asked me in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know that is my Cancer brother, so
So, but yeah, you know, this is a, like you said, from what I know, it started with Dapper Dan. He was taking the Louis, the Gucci, and he remixed it. Virgil did the same
Absolutely.
thing. He remixed the polo shirt, and that's how he started. And then it
Okay.
went to Off-White. You know what I'm saying? And I'm doing the same thing.
Okay.
I have my own plan, but right now, this is what we doing.
Okay.
And we'll worry about the rest later.
Right,
You know what
okay,
I'm saying?
that's
done,
what I-
and that's just what it is. By the time they sue me, I done made millions of dollars.
got you, heard you.
So, you
Makes
know,
sense.
all they're going to do is do a cease and desist, and I'm going to stop. But I'm already in motion to do what I'm going to do, how I'm going to do it, because I already know it's probably going to come. You know what I'm saying? But that's going to be years from now. But
Of course.
by the end of this year, I'll be starting my transition. Not transition, because I'm going to keep doing it, but I'm going to add something else to it.
Okay.
So
where
what would be your advice to somebody else that may want to get into the same thing? Like, would you tell them to go the same way that you're doing or no?
yeah, I would.
Like, you would give them the same
I would give them
formula?
the same formula. This is not a new formula. Remix something that's already popping.
Would you agree with that? Like, would you handle it that way?
Yeah, why not?
Hey, I'm just asking.
Like, because
we gotta make sure people know.
for example, like, even when people come to me, I'll tell them not all the juice, because I'm the only Jasmine's got the juice.
Huh?
But I'll give them what works for me, and I'll let you know, like, this is what works for me. You take
Yeah.
what you want from it.
Yeah.
You know, so because that's how I learn. Like,
Right.
I'm a listen. One thing about me, like, one thing doesn't go in one ear and out the other. Like,
Gotcha.
it might seem like that because I'm so fucking everywhere. However, I'm always listening.
Gotcha.
So even if I have like a misunderstanding or a debate or a debate or
Oh, I'm
anything,
like, why she owe you? Mm.
because he likes debates. He likes healthy debates.
Oh yeah.
Very much so.
So
I don't
even-
comment underneath your post because I don't be.
Yeah, because he always want to go back and forth with somebody.
Yeah, and I'm like, don't get me wrong.
I
I
don't want
agree
to,
with you 90%
but-
of the time.
Exactly,
Like earlier
so-
today, you did post like, how y'all come underneath somebody else post and they get mad at their opinion? Like, bro, you came up underneath here. This is
Yeah, then I
okay.
commented on the her shit like,
and I'm seeing all of y'all, and I'm like, I'm not finna do it. Cause it's not that I disagree with y'all.
Yeah.
Like I wholeheartedly agree, but sometimes y'all
No,
already
but
said
you
the
know
fucking
what it.
point. So I'm
But
like,
you
I'm
know
not
what
about
it
to do
is. You know what it is. Sometimes some people opinions be mad strong. Like if you feel that strong, like take that negative energy, take that shit somewhere the
Like,
fuck
yeah,
else on your own post.
like-
Don't bring that shit on my post.
if Jasmine said, "Yo, LeBron's the best basketball player ever," now you wildin'.
That I'm not sitting here debating with you
You know what I'm
about.
saying? But to me, I'm a man.
Delivery
And we have
is everything.
Yeah, and we have healthy debates all the time. Who's the
deliver
best
shit
rapper?
wrong all
Who's
the
this?
time.
Who's that? So I think it's not arguing when it's like men
Mm-hmm.
debating. I don't know how women take it, but I'm not arguing with you because who's right or who's wrong? It's an opinion. There's some things that's like some chick told me some shit. What the fuck did she say? And
Some
it was
chick
just
be saying some
and it
wild
was
stuff
just
to you.
wrong. It wasn't even an opinion. It was just
Did
you are
post it on
wrong.
social media?
Huh?
Did you post it? Because you post. I think you posted something with some girl and she was like really loud and wrong.
I don't know. This was like a couple days ago.
I don't know,
but
I
she
know
was
today
just
you definitely
wrong.
went off about people looking at the promotion. Like you got
Yeah,
more
'cause
views
people
on your
are-
story.
yeah,
It's like, why
people-
the fuck would you promote that like that?
Yeah, like-
but you look though. That's
like,
the whole
people, like-
intention of the promotion.
Like
bro.
one
You
thing
look.
I do, I'm gonna give you a little
I do
secret.
shit like that too, and it be funny.
When I promote something, I put a sexy picture on my story on Facebook because that's gonna be the first thing you see. So I'll
Sex
put
sells.
yeah.
That's
So
why.
I'll put
Shout
a
out to
chick.
my brand,
I'll
Something
put like a
Extra.
half naked chick up there. So then that way, when you click that, the next thing you click is a flyer or something, and it's going to bring you more views.
But you know what's funny? I feel like we've done that from back in the days of promoting world. I
Yeah.
feel like the promotion is different now from what we were doing before.
How are they? Do people even like? What do people?
Not really, and there's not a lot of footwork. I remember being out there every time 4 a.m. If I wasn't at the fucking party, we all splitting up.
Yeah,
that was a good thing about a
people
team.
do not
want to
do footwork, bro.
No, it's all about who you know. Like my biggest thing right now, the reason why I feel like I don't ask for help, and there's a lot of people who I feel like if we was all in a room together, I would know. When I show up to 88th day, there's a couple of people I know I'ma fucking know. Niggas don't look at my stories. Niggas don't support shit. Niggas don't look at shit. But they only keep they clique. The same 3-4 niggas. But I just saw them beefing the other day about some concert where this person ain't show up and that person ain't show up and this person ain't show up. And it's just like, y'all not even trying to let that new blood in. So that's really my reason where it's like, I have these people down the block from me. I have these people up the block around. I'm in the middle. I'm on gates between Notion and fucking Marcy. I'm right there with everybody.
The trenches.
I can go and ask people, but
I almost got jumped over there.
Niggas will see me walk out the door. Don't get me wrong. I'm very copacetic with everybody. I can speak to anybody. Hey, what's up, Meekz? What's up? Podcast. But I'm not about to reach out to you if you know that I'm doing that. Like you've seen me here for 25 years. Why do I gotta come and ask you for help? If you know that.
But that's the thing, though. In my opinion, you have to ask because people don't know what you want. People don't know what you thinking. People do not know what you want. People don't know what you
when
need.
You start stuff, you don't know what you want. I didn't even know where the fuck I was going.
But also, it's also no one's job. It's also no one's job to be like, oh, hey,
definitely
I see you doing this. How can? It's no one's job to do that.
You're 100% right. But that's why
so you can't look for that.
Myself
but that's the thing, and that's where you always gonna fuck up at. If you're assuming that because someone's seen you for 25 plus years doing something, they're gonna be like, oh, I've been seeing you do this for such a long time. Let me no, because
like I needed an investment for 88. I asked one of my homies that do what he do, yo, bro, I need this, and he gave it to me. No questions asked. I'm gonna give you this back.
That's not for me because this is a growth moment. I sat down and spoke to everybody. I don't have those problems. I definitely do ask, but I know that there's people that's like that. Yeah, like I'm always there to go.
And then, like for me, why I think it helps is because they see what's happening with it. When people can see something actually working, they'll be more willing to help.
So that's why I feel like you gotta get it to a certain point.
Yeah, for people to be more willing. Yes,
that area now because my podcast consists of 4 people.
Yeah.
So I don't have the room for another seat. It's easier to see 4 people debate that we have these conversations every day. Like my podcast is not an interview podcast. I don't fucking interview. Like that's just not my thing. I've learned that, hey, I gotta find a setting. I gotta find the confidence because the studio that I use, it was set up for debates. But me sitting here now in a more intimate setting, it's easier for me to interview people. Then it was like, hey, who the fuck am I going to interview? Who am I going to talk to? Who am I going to figure
Even if you have to pay people for interviews.
So you feel like you're like, okay, because you said you have 4 people on your show. You only feel comfortable with more than just yourself on your show?
I only feel comfortable
with just yourself. Because I just heard you say that, and then I just heard you say, then I would have to wonder, who am I going to talk to? Who am I, like, what?
That was my problems before.
Oh.
So when you have to go through and rebrand, you go, hey, I'm going to have to tap into this.
I used to be scared to sit down and talk to myself. Like, I always felt like I had to have a host because when I first started, I always had a host.
Right.
Now I wouldn't dare have a host.
Right.
I wouldn't dare have a host. For what? It's Jasmine Taylor TV.
Right.
Huh? I mean, you can still have a. I mean, no.
It's
Wendy
Williams don't have no.
You're right. I'm thinking about something else because I was thinking about Joe Buttons and he has, but you said a host. Right. Even though it's the Joe Buttons podcast, he has other people, but you said a host, so yeah. But you're right. You're Joe Button.
Right.
And then whoever's alongside of you.
I used to get so fucking scared, like, oh my God, who am I going to talk to? Like, I'm going to talk and answer my own questions. Like, what am I really doing? But now I feel.
And then I'm sure people come to you now and say, yeah, can you interview me?
Yeah. That's why I really don't have to.
Everything grows.
Because honestly, I used to feel like I had to promote OD, but and I felt like if I'm not out in these streets, and that's another thing too. Like a lot of people feel like in the beginning you have to be out, you have to put in the footwork. But I guess in the media world now, remember I've been in it a little bit, the media world longer than you, so a lot of these media bitches, they feel like they got to be at every event. Everything, everybody, up under everybody. They feel like they got to put fire flames up under everybody post to see. You don't have to do that. Make yourself a household name in whichever industry you're in. Let your name, your brand, whatever the fuck it is, speak for itself. Continue to work, but you don't have to like do too much for people to see you. Because those people who gonna see you, gonna see you.
Right.
And if they don't, then those just not the people
And I
for
appreciate
you.
both of y'all for seeing me. So right now, plug y'all businesses, but events y'all got coming up, because unfortunately my engineer is waving at me and shit.
Girl, I've been trying to get your attention for bad long.
So on August 13th, we both have an event.
And I'm gonna be at both at the. I'm gonna figure
I'm
out the
having
same time.
88 Day, which is basically a day to where we just selling out new products, which is right here. And it's just gonna be lit, man. It's just gonna be a lituation. I'm hoping for a sellout. That's what I'm hoping for. And
I love it because it's like it reminds me of the project day, like so it just.
Yeah, we're not having a Marcy Day either, so niggas might as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. I'm gonna promote that. I'm gonna say that. Yo, ain't no Marcy Day. I'm out of 88 days Marcy Day.
That's what I'm
gonna
saying.
promote
Like
that.
you could just make that. What? Listen.
No, I'm gonna do that.
Listen. Give me my credit.
No, I got you. And that's the thing with me too. Like I'm a creative person. But you don't have to think of everything. You don't have to think of everything. I ask my creative friends all the time, yo, I'm thinking of this. What would I add? What would you take away? I'll ask 5 niggas. And by the time it come back to me, I have the perfect thing.
Because you could take bits and pieces from everything.
And it's, again, I don't have an ego. So I may be wrong. All right, I'm wrong. If I ask 5 niggas something, and then 3 of them be like, nah, that's wild. I'm all right, then I'm wrong. And that's it.
Right.
I'm right. I'm standing on this because I thought of it. All right, bro. If this shit whack, this shit whack. I ain't. And then that's just it. The ego is your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Ego is definitely your enemy.
Plug your business.
But plug your event in. I'm sorry.
Plug the event, yes, August 13th.
Well, Jasmine Taylor TV, August 13th. 425 Saratoga Avenue. I am having a pop-up shop. It is Black Business Month. August is Black Business Month. Not a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, I found that out today.
My pop, yeah. No, you didn't, because I posted on August 1st. August is Black Business Month, and you commented on it.
Let me tell you something.
Let
me tell you something about that. No. Let me tell you something about that.
That's why she
said. No. Let me tell you something about that. I do not read every fucking word on flyers. Every word. No, I don't remember. Even if I read it at that moment.
Yeah, because you definitely commented and you said pretty much with like the noted emoji.
No, and I might have, but what I'm saying is, after that shit, I got my own shit going on.
I know.
And I'm not remembering. It's National History Month or whatever. Black.
Well, that's why that's not your job, and that's why that's my job. That's why I do what I do and throw informative pop-up shops. They're not just pop-up shops where you go and just say, hey, let me look at what table. No, I always have a purpose for my pop-up shops. There's always a reason. There's always people with beneficial information. Like this event, August 13th, I have 15 performers. I have 10 vendors. Like I always throw something. My next pop-up shop will be in September, which is also for a purpose. It's a 425 Saratoga Avenue as well, and that's catered to suicide prevention awareness.
Yes, I definitely saw that.
So everything is always something. I'm also a domestic violence advocate because I am a survivor. So it's a lot. Just pay attention. Jasmine Taylor TV.
Huh?
So thank both of you guys for coming through to sit and talk with me on Brooklyn's Balance.
No problem.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. We out.